Hey everybody, and welcome to our very special postseason interviews with the Circle Cast here on Reality Recaps. Now look, normally I know this says TV Co, and it will all be about TV Co because that is where we do these shows live. Make sure that you're following myself at Reality Recaps on TV Co and Nicole at Nicole Anthony on TV Co, and well, follow TV Co too on social media. But I know that some of you have missed the live shows or have trouble playing them back, so I wanted to give you a backup of the show here on our website. So don't forget, make sure you follow us over there to watch the shows live, and click around here since you are here, yourrealityrecaps.com. Check out all of our recaps for Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race, RuPaul's Drag Race, and so much more we cover for you guys all year long. Of course, if you want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. Patrons get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows just for patrons, and so much more. You could always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, or one of the best free ways to help support us is just share our content on social media. If you guys love what we do, make sure that you share it, thumbs up, and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the bell, leave a comment below. If you're listening on iTunes or a, podcast provider, leave a nice review and a nice rating there. That helps us so much. Telling one or two friends about the show, posting our posts from social media places where you think people might like them, is just an invaluable way for you guys to help support our shows. That being said, we are also live every single night of the week over on YouNow, yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. So check those out. Those are more of our hangout, one-on-one type of shows. All of our reality TV shows are live on TV Co. And then, of course, here on our website and iTunes after the fact as backup. So thank you guys so much for all the support. Let's start the show. Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special post-season interview show with myself and Nicole. Nicole, how you doing?
I am so excited right now, Eric.
Everybody is so excited for this show. We have Joey here exclusively in a circle chat. More on that in a moment. But of course, I want to remind you guys, hit those three little dots, share the show on social media, let everybody know that we are live. Right now, you can start leaving your questions in the chat. You can tweet me them with hashtag YRRLive, and I'll pull them up on the screen. Of course, if you missed any of our past Circle shows that Nicole and I have done, they are here in the TV Co app in the Circle community. Check them out. And we have more house guests for you all week. We have Miranda officially tomorrow at 6 p.m., Sammy on Wednesday, Seaburn on Thursday, and Shuby on Friday. So you guys have a full week. All of those times are 6 p.m. Eastern, except Sammy's will be at 6:30 p.m. That being said, Nicole, are we ready to head over to Circle Chat?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's go over to Circle Chat with Joey.
Yeah, buddy. What up?
Joey, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Just living the dream one day at a time. Everything is amazing. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing wonderful, and we have to congratulate you, winner of the Circle.
Yeah!
Season 1 in the U.S., the OG forever. Winner is Joey. That is phenomenal.
Man. It's so insane.
I also have to say, Joey, now I don't want to, again, put Nicole on the spot here, but Joey, on day one, I picked you as the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole did not.
Should I put Eric on the spot right now and say, why, Eric, did you pick Joey as your winner?
I mean, I might have had a crush, Joey.
The crush is mutual, Eric. Don't you worry about nothing, buddy. I watched your interviews, and I saw since week 1 you were pulling for Uncle JoJo. The love was so mutual, baby. I loved it.
We loved Joey. We are, New Yorkers, Nicole and I, and we know that you You now you're a New Yorker,
Yes.
but you're very yeah, buddy, Jersey shoring. Is that like kind of like did you do that on purpose, or are you bringing yeah, buddy to New York?
No, it's funny. I've lived in LA now for almost 8 years, and I stick out like a sore thumb because I'm a New Yorker, the slick back hair, the accent, the cross. But so many people thought in the beginning that I was playing it up for the cameras and trying to be Jersey Shore. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, number one, I will openly always say I am so loud and stupid. That's just my personality. I have a goofy sense of humor. And the whole yeah buddy thing is just like, of course, that was started by Paulie D, but it's not. I'm not even a huge Jersey Shore fan. It's just I say so many stupid catchphrases and things, and for whatever reason, at the time we were filming, that was just my thing that I was just saying ad nauseum, nonstop. Like I'll say to people, like if we're talking, having a serious conversation, I'll be like, "Stop yelling! Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Stop yelling!" Like, why you hurt, bro? Like, just stupid things like that. So when people are saying, like, oh, this kid's trying to be Jersey Shore, it's like, dude, I promise you, for every one of my friends and family who have seen the show, they're like, this is authentically Joey. The show is essentially me FaceTiming my family all day long, being loud and stupid like I do. Like, that's just how it was.
That's
I
awesome.
mean,
It's really
Be-
funny because I was one of the people like in the first couple of episodes where I was like, I don't know. I think it's, it might be a little bit embellished. It might be, forced a little bit, but I will admit, like getting to see you like episode after episode, I came around and I was like, wow, this guy is very genuine, very himself and unapologetically so. And I like commend you so much for that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I just think that, the cool thing with the show for me was not even besides just, becoming the winner, all this and that, because I never thought about winning. God is my witness. I never thought about the money. I never thought about being the first winner. To me, it was like, you have to know who you are as a person. And
Hmm.
I'm so competitive. I've been a boxer my entire life. I
Oh,
have
wow.
extreme discipline for taking care of my body. So, and just being very competitive. So it was like winning is out of my control. I don't know
Mm.
how this format works. I don't know anything like that. And that will also cloud my judgment with how I'm going to play the game and be myself, because you're going to have a motive where if I go into this with the experience and the mindset of, I just want to be true to myself. I don't want to regret anything because I could leave at any point in time. I know that I'm not going to have any false motives. So the fun thing about how they presented me on the show is it really works how my real life works, which is so often people have placed me into a box
Yep.
and really stereotype me, because when I walk into a room, I am so confident. I believe in myself. I'll talk to any single person. And sometimes people take that as, this guy's a douchebag. This guy's cocky. This guy's this guy's that. Where if you really take the time to get to know me, yes, I understand. I fit into all those boxes because of how I look, how I present myself, but that's not who I am. I love every single person and would do anything for anybody. And to watch audience members take that on with each episode was like
Yep.
the most cool experience for me, watching with everyone else.
I have to say, I think one of the things that I said was so great about you, because, yeah, it's easy to, characterize you when you
Yep.
come in there and you seem Jersey Shore. You were so open-minded about everybody. And in my brain, I was like, oh, that character is not supposed to be so accepting to the gay guy, to the people of color, like befriending everybody. So I have to commend you for that. I think you are very inspirational as a person to a lot of people, and just being
Thank you, man.
open-minded.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing is for people who find me after the fact, I think it's cool that people just, without knowing my life, see that. But
Yes.
to add context to it, it's been kind of the story of my life. When I grew up boxing, my father grew up absolutely poor and made something of himself. And his thing was, you're never going to judge a book by its cover, and you're never going to judge people by their skin and where they come from. So he put me in the inner city, in the ghetto, in like the worst gym in the world, which was the best. So I was the only white kid. All my friends were black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic. So I was like the minority who had to earn my respect. So it gave me a different outlook on how someone else can be judged by just circumstances, where they come from. And then when I moved to LA and started living the struggling actor life, I was broke. I had nothing. Long story short, I ended up breaking my hand and I needed a job. My uncle's gay. And my uncle always told me, you need to work in a gay bar because the boys will love you because you're so New York Italian. And I've been working in the oldest gay bar in LA for the last 5.5 years. So right then and there, it was sort of like me boxing again, where when I first started there, it was more people didn't like me because I was the straight guy who seemed like a douchebag because of my looks, my personality. So I had to earn my respect in a different community again. And then it became a thing of, well, Joey's ours, but everyone else, we don't like him. You know what I mean? Like Joey's our boy. But it gave me such a newfound respect because I've never judged anybody to begin with. But to literally, as we speak, I would say 98% of my friends are gay. Like my bar is my sanctuary. That's my home. All my friends, and seeing what they have been through in their life because of who they are. The stories I've heard. I mean, I'm the first person who will give someone the biggest hug and kiss and tell them I love you and I'm here for you because it's so terrible. And I just hope that people who watch the show can take that, because I've had so many people reach out to me saying similar things of, the conversation you had with Chris, or the fact that you're so open and accepting. And it's like, why wouldn't you be, man? Like that's the cool thing for me about living here in LA is nobody cares. You are who you are. And if people do have a bias, they're so afraid of social outrage for their own personal feelings that they keep their mouth shut. And it's like, you know what? I'd rather have that than live somewhere where people are so vocally violent and hateful over something that is so stupid. At the end of the day, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever. It just is what it is, man. So I just hope people can really take that, because there's no reason to judge anyone, man. This life is too short, and there's so many beautiful people, and you're just shutting yourself off to beautiful friendships you can make.
Right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Sorry, Eric. And that was so amazing to see in the game as well. Like, regardless of what people may have thought when they saw your profile, saw your pictures, we saw almost everybody, get to know you. And it was Broy Joey. I'm protecting Joey. I don't want to see Joey go. I'm going to rank Joey high. Like, that was so amazing to see everybody go on a similar path as like the viewers. And I thought it was interesting you had said that you didn't, walk into the house saying like, I see myself winning, or I want, like, that's where I'm going to end up. Did you at any point toward like the later days be like, oh wow, I could win this thing?
No. So I would say watching the last 4 episodes, that's when I actually really started taking this serious of this is a game, because until then it was just, that's just who I am. Throw me in deep waters and let me learn how to swim. And luckily I stayed in, but I think those last 4 episodes is what really won me the show. But even then, when you're seeing me have to block Sean and then telling the group that I did it, we don't know that the final ratings are going to be that next day or that night, whenever it was. So I'm thinking in my mind at this point, we've all been so secluded, and it's a double-edged sword of, you want to stay in the game because you don't want to get blocked, but the longer you stay in the game, the kind of more crazy you get, because it just keeps going and going. So at this point, I'm thinking there's probably going to be 2 more blockings, because I'm like, it's probably going to come down to a final 5 or 4 or 3. None of us knew what the format was, because they don't tell us anything. So at that point, I'm like, all I want to do is make it to the end. I just want to make it to the end, because that means I made it on the entire show. There's going to be great exposure, and whoever wins, man, I hope it's Shuby, hope it's Sammy, hope it's Chris, hope it's Seaburn. God bless them. Let's crown them. Let's go to the after party so we can all actually hang out and get to know each other. I had no idea, but when I've watched those last 4 episodes again, it just really hits home that I think every single move I made was the exact move how I had to make it. And I think that's what ultimately gave me that push to win the show, because the entire show before that, I was stagnant right in the middle. which is kind of where you want to be, which is
Yes.
people like you and you're not a threat. You're not too far down in the rankings, but you're also not the top dog over and over again.
Yep.
I have to say, I mean, I love that, but here's my job, Joey. I stopped listening and went into Fantasyland when you were like, I worked at a gay bar and I love the gays. So, on behalf of the gays, Joey, I think one of our favorite scenes of the season, I know it was mine, was Joey making a cake.
Oh, God, that cake.
You gotta I mean, you got more of the cake on you than on the cake. Was that like that was a more fun, I guess, like game or challenge that you guys had in this season? Was it fun for you guys to do those little challenges?
I mean, for me, no, because I was freaking out. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to watch it. You know what I mean? It's fun to watch it back. But at the time, people, again, certain people have said, "Oh, this kid's playing it up for the cameras." Dude, when you go into this space, man, you're literally living there on camera 24 hours a day. There is nothing you can put on. And when people say, "How was that so terrible?" Let me give you my perspective on this thing. I'm an Italian kid from New York. I had to learn how to do laundry and cook basic stuff for myself when I moved away because my entire life, my mother did absolutely everything for me. And when it comes to baking a cake, I don't bake. I've never baked a cake in my life. So immediately I'm thinking of my Aunt Joanne, who does all the cakes in the family, or my sister Gianna, who does all the other baking stuff. And I see we have a time limit. I forget how we had to do this in a short period of time. I get the box. And I'm thinking immediately, what the hell am I going to do? So I pick up the frosting bag and I try to squeeze the frosting out because I'm thinking I watch Cake Boss with my sister. And when I watch Cake Boss with my sister, I see them take the bag and squeeze it out, but it didn't squeeze out. And I didn't know you got to snip the thing off. So I'm like, I have no time. If I try, I'm thinking they gave me a broken bag. If they gave me a broken bag, now I gotta keep going. So I just start scooping stuff with my hands. And that is an accurate representation of me trying to make a cake the best way I know how.
Okay, now, Joey, I don't want to call you out here, but Joanna from chat has correctly stated, Joey, you didn't bake anything. They gave you a cake. You played with frosting.
Yes. Yes, I did. I played with frosting. And it did not end well, but I still stick by art is subjective, and I think it was a masterpiece.
This is true. It's all subjective.
Joey, we have one of our favorite moments from the season that Nicole and I liked. I'm going to let Nicole go ahead and do it. Nicole, you know what to do when you see it.
Alert! Alert! Alert!
We have our first Twitter question from Yanisa over on Twitter, and she wants to know if your mom got to play in this game with you, would she be herself, or would you guys want to catfish together?
I think we would probably have to work sort of like Ed and his mom did, because just knowing my mom, she wouldn't be able to understand the whole catfish mentality. My parents are just like, Joe, how do I work the TV? How do I do this? How do I do that? They wouldn't be able to figure it out. But I think if my mom came with me, it would pay. I mean, me and Ed are similar type of guys from similar backgrounds. So I think it just would be the same thing of, it'd be nice because my mom would be cooking me lunch and doing stuff for me. But I don't think it would go anything beyond that of her saying, let's say, oh, honey, tell her how much we love her. Tell her how much our hearts with her. And just, I'm sort of the clone of my mother. So I think it would basically be the same game I played, same way, with just her being there as feedback for things.
Mm-hmm. Were you upset to see that Ed got to play with his mother? I know the first thing Nicole said when she saw it was, this is ridiculous. Joey would have killed to get to have his mom there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for everyone at the time when it was revealed that he was there with his mom, it was sort of like, what? Like what? like, how does that work? And like, that's why when they had Michelle explaining over her voiceover of why that was okay and why that was allowed, that was sort of what we were told when we were all like, huh? Like, how does that work? But I think for me, the fun of it was, I don't even know, to tell you the truth, if I would have brought my mom doing it, because it's sort of the mentality of me being a fighter or playing football or doing anything that I've done. Of my parents are in the wings supporting me with my cousins, my sisters, my aunts, my uncles cheering me on, but I got to step up to the plate and do my thing. And then we can all celebrate my victory or my defeat together. So I think I would have still played the game the same way.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. Do you think, I mean, obviously Ed didn't make it as far as you, coming into the game late as well. Do you think, I know you said you play a similar game with your mom there, but do you think in general that's like helping to have somebody there? Does it hurt to have somebody there with you? Are you better off just being alone?
I would say it hurts. Just for me, because people have asked me so much of, did you ever think about catfishing or would you do anything different? And I swear to God, I'm not saying it because I won the game, because at this point we know that was not expected. It was just for me, the best thing I know how to do in business, in work, in anything I do is to always just be myself, stay true to my morals. I know I can have a conversation with any person in any room. I can always develop something and I can always rise to the top. If you give me the correct opportunity, I'll always prove myself. So for me, when they ask about like, would you catfish? It's like, look, that sounds like fun. Like, I think anyone would think that sounds like fun, just to screw with people a little bit. But if this is a real serious competition, this is a real game, I'm not going to go out on a whim and just say, yeah, I'm going to do this because this sounds like fun. I'm going to go, this is the competition. What is the best risk I have for success in this game? And for me, the only thing that came to mind ever is I'm being myself. I'm going to be myself and just doing my thing.
Big Brother Craze in the chat room wants to know, how hard was it for you to keep your win a secret? So I guess we're assuming that you knew you won before the show aired. So was that a really hard secret for you to keep?
To tell you the truth, yes, it's a yes and no thing, because it's not even so much the win as it was the show itself, because nobody knew about the show for a little bit. And it's like, I come back from the show and I just did this awesome experience. I know it's going to be on Netflix. And for me, again, being a struggling actor, doing my thing, I want to utilize this and talk about it, but I physically am not allowed to. And I would not, and I take professionalism so serious. So it really only became not difficult, but exciting, I would say, when the show premiered, because until then it was like, I'm just so conditioned from the industry of just thinking anything you do, no matter who's behind it, what network it's on, always expect the worst and hope for the best. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a great experience, and you always want to take the experience from production and being there, as that's what it's all about. And hopefully people find it. So I thought this was a blessing. But, the last 5 months, 6 months, however long it's been, I've been back at work slinging drinks at the bar, just doing my normal thing. And it's just been, I got this thing coming. And then all of a sudden it starts coming out. And now people see it's coming. And I'm going, okay, maybe it'll get some eyes. It is Netflix. It'll be a cool thing. And then it just hits and it becomes this overnight phenomenon, which I can tell you, I never in my wildest dreams thought it would take off like it did, because you just don't see that happen. And just sitting back and watching people's reactions, it was fun, because week one, when everyone hated me, I'm like, oh man, there might be like riots when they find out that like I win this thing. Like what the hell's gonna happen? Like, because I really don't care. Like, if you don't like me, like, dude, we can laugh about everything. I am loud and stupid with so many things. I'll agree with you on all of those things, but seeing the tide change was really fun, because after the first 8 episodes, then it became Joey's the audience favorite. He's the person we've come around to, but he's not going to win. There's no way he's going to take this thing. It's going to be Shuby or Sammy or Seaburn or or someone from that original crew, and just sitting there going, I know everything that happens, and I can't wait to see how people are going to react. It was just, dude, seeing everyone tag me on Instagram and stories of that last me and Shuby down, then it's announced me, seeing their reactions of like just cheering and losing their minds. I mean, the cool thing with a show like this is people really, when they talk to me and they message me or they tag me in something, it's not like they're talking to someone who's on TV, who's a celebrity, because people, I am not famous. I'm not a celebrity. I'm the most normal guy you'll ever meet. But they feel like they know me from this experience. And that's the coolest thing.
I love it. I think that, well, I mean, we'll get into finale in a little bit. We loved the show. I mean, we were fans of The Circle UK. And I do have to say, you are correct. There are a lot of, networks and places that can be shady. But I think Nicole and I can both attest, never CBS if you ever end up on a CBS show. They're the best. We love CBS. We love them, Big Brother and Survivor. Heather in the chat wants to know, what did you do in your downtime? So on the show, where I'm imagining there's a lot of downtime. Are you just like cooking and?
To tell you the truth, that's the other interesting thing for me even being there is there really was not a lot of downtime. I mean,
really?
Wow.
I would think going into this, yes, there's going to be a lot of downtime, but that's why you see like there's that one episode in the first batch where I'm like cooking my lunch, my Brussels sprouts.
Joey, we know.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and I just start screaming at the thing, and that's because you would think, okay, I'm gonna have a minute here to, let's say, go do a face mask or cook myself lunch. But you realize, if you're lucky enough to stay in the game after the first couple of days, that from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep, it's on. Like, things are happening. Like, that's what is cool, is like there was so many one-on-one conversations and interactions that never made the show. And it's not because they weren't good. It's just because you have to squeeze 24 hours of a day of 8 to 10 people, however many people are into an hour episode. Inevitably, things are going to be lost.
And that was one of the conversations, Eric, that you and I had about, are they allowed to reach out and have individual chats all day, every day? Like, are you guys allowed to just, hey, I'm going to talk to Sammy right now?
Yes and no. So sort of, it's like, let's say I want to talk to Shuby, and I'm trying to get a request with Shuby, but it's not going through. That's because Shuby's already talking to someone, or something's going on. So that's why you see me sitting on the couch doodling a lot of the times, because that's what I do just to like clear my mind, because I'm like so ADHD. And I'm like, what I'm not gonna like is, let's say I do start cooking or I do start doing push-ups or doing something, and now my mind switches to that, because I'm like that guy. I can't do anything half-assed. It's got to be, this is what I'm focused on.
Amen.
Because I'm so not a multitasker. But then I would think, okay, I'm gonna get thrown off, because as soon as I start doing something, there's going to be a conversation that's going to start, or it's time for ratings. So I'm like, I'm going to sit my ass on this couch. I'm going to doodle, and I'm just going to wait, because I know at any given moment, something's going to happen, and it's time to get back in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's very interesting.
And I think, wasn't our other question, if you don't have to answer if you're not allowed to answer, were you allowed to have as many people in your chats as you wanted? Because I think Nicole and I were always like, why is this person left out of this chat, or that person? And it always seemed like it was always 4 people.
It's kind of something I can't answer, but it's not something I can't answer. It's just one of those things of, there is always limitations, because people are talking to different people at different times. So if I want to throw someone else into a chat or bring someone else in, sometimes it's literally time is of the essence, because things are happening right now, and I can't throw this person in there because they're talking with someone else or they're doing something else. So those are the things that are hard when you're playing, because you do want to make a connection with every single person, but every person is trying to make a connection with another person.
Yeah. Wow.
So it becomes a conundrum of just spinning your wheels. And then, because, like, from my perspective, man, I felt like there might be a twist in this show where none of these other people are real, and I've just been documented in an apartment by myself because I'd never seen anybody or anything. Everyone's
Yeah.
doing their own thing, and you don't know who's being honest with you and who you can really trust.
Right. I think the shocks during, of the catfishing is such an interesting aspect that we haven't seen. I think a lot of us, or a lot of people that are watching our shows, are fans of like Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing Race. So to add this catfish element in was very interesting for me to see this season. Was there, I think Lindsay is asking, is there anyone that shocked you the most? Like, which reveal shocked you the most of the catfish people?
I would say it was definitely Karen, aka Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the edit that they did of all of our reactions with our mouths just wide open.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it had been everyone who was eliminated was really who they said they were. And that's after I just terribly misjudged Antonio because I just truly thought he was a catfish. I felt so bad to where I was like, okay, for the rest of the game, how long I'm here, I'm just taking everyone at face value, whoever they say they are, because I talk so much junk and I was so wrong. And I'm going to own that because I was just wrong. So when Karen was revealed for the first time, I think that sort of the video she left, everything sort of fits your idea of what someone is catfishing.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point of being in the game, seeing that was just like what? Because you're going off of just this is Mercedes and all this picture of someone for each person is all you have in your mind of what might they look like, what might they sound like, all of these things. So that shock, I think, definitely hit all of us in the same way of like, damn.
What would you say, like, living obviously alone and only communicating through a screen with pictures that may not even be people? What do you think was the toughest thing for you? Like, what'd you struggle with the most?
Just not being able to listen to music, watch film, because film is just my escape in life. So is music. Just being able to just walk outside and just get some fresh air and do things like that. That was definitely the most difficult for me just because, like we all love a day to sit home and do nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's a great thing. But when you physically cannot leave, you start going crazy. Like a lot of people have talked about in like those first couple episodes, I'm wearing my sunglasses inside. And they're like, dude, come on, you douchebag. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, I knew when I did that, that was a conscious moment of, I'm going to be labeled the biggest toolbox in the world, but I don't care because there's lights all on top of the ceiling, like above the TV, which isn't, they need to light so you can see what's going on. And when you haven't left these four walls, for me at least, my eyes were killing me. Like my retinas were just drawn to the top of the ceiling. So I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm leaving my sunglasses on. And like even my father, because I tell him, Dad, when people talk shit, don't respond to him. But he's so loyal and he really takes it serious. So he just like will respond to people with pictures of me with sunglasses on a plane or in my house back home. He's like, he's been the same way his whole life. I'm like, Dad, you can't feed into it. But like, it's things like that were just extremely difficult of being like, I need to stay here. I need to stay in the game. But you just get into this rhythm of the day flies by so quick. So many things happen. And then it's like when the day's over, I'm a night owl who can never sleep. I'm definitely have insomnia terrible. So it's like, how am I supposed to go to sleep now? How am I supposed to do this? Because you're just so wired and looking at this screen of all these people and you get sucked into the game of thinking now it's a chess match. This person with that person and this one and that one, everything I got to do tomorrow. And then it just, dude, I really can't stress enough how hard the mental aspect of this game is. It really is difficult.
Now, are you allowed to answer? And if you're not, obviously don't. Are you allowed to answer how long you were in the circle, like how many days it was?
I wouldn't be able to answer, but I could
Okay.
tell you I've had people ask me, and I have no problem answering it. I don't know, because when you sign up to do this, they tell you straight up, you are not allowed to know what day it is. You are not allowed to know what time it is. That's part of the mental struggle of the
Yes,
game.
absolutely.
Is you like, I really cannot credit Netflix and Studio Lambert enough, because they did so good with everything before we started and after we ended, of letting us know exactly what we were getting ourselves into, exactly how this was going to go, the problems that could arise during filming, and the things that could arise when this thing comes out, of trolls on the internet and people could sell stories about you, or, every single box that you could imagine with this experience was completely checked before we did anything. So I give them immense credit, because I've heard of other people who've done other things that those things were not made clear, and they were definitely spelled out for us.
Yeah, wow, that's really good to hear. Wow.
Lost and King Cruised in the chat room wants to know, prior to getting on the circle, have you tried to get on any other reality TV shows?
No. So actually, this is a fun one, because me being an actor, there's such a stigma of doing reality TV. So I've had other gigs offered to me that I flat out have turned down. Just flat out have turned down and said, never going to happen. I don't care how much I'm struggling. I don't care anything I'm going through. I'm never doing that. When this opportunity came up, it was one of those things that it kept coming to me. It just kept coming to me, and it just felt right, even though everything in my previous mindset was saying no. It was like, something about this just seems right. I have my film that's in post-production right now that took so many years to get made.
Wow.
This is gonna be on Netflix. What do I have to lose? And the concept was so smart, because I'm not in a house with other people, getting drunk, hooking up with people, doing things that really is going to end my actual acting career. I have an opportunity to showcase my real self and my personality. So with that in mind, it just became a thing of, you know what, man, I'm going to do this, because how many reality shows can you really say has an actual meaning behind it? More so than just people with their personalities. It actually is a commentary on our society and the world we live in today. And all of these things just lined up perfectly. So when people have been doing interviews with me and asking me what would you do, Big Brother or The Bachelor or this or that, it's like, guys, this is a one and done. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I did it. I'm so happy people have responded the way that they have. But I've been a struggling actor for so many years, bartending to survive and doing all those things, and it's so difficult. But I know I can do what I have to do to get by. I'm just so on the page of, this was the best experience of my life and career, but this was one and done.
Yep.
This is it.
Wow.
You know what else you could do, Joey?
What's that?
You could be a dancer. We saw a lot of Joey dancing on the circle.
Hey!
Love it.
I see that Pink Rose in the chat wants to know, how important were the influencers in the game? And I know from talking with her, like, during shows, like, do you feel that the influencers kind of had an idea of what they were going to do before they even went in to deliberate based on your guys' private chats? Or was there really a chance for two influencers to influence the other one in an opposite direction?
I think the answer is yes to both of those things. I think it's just part of the game that if you're in that position, you're going to go in having a better relationship than you are with other people that you're going to be skeptical about. And you also have to know that any decision that you make, it is sending a message to everybody else. So that's why it becomes such a mental strategy of, not only do you maybe want to get rid of somebody, but you have to think, how is that going to affect other people you have relationships with? Like, an example of that would be when I was a super influencer, and so many people are tweeting me saying, Why wouldn't you get rid of Rebecca? You were skeptical. Well, I think a lot of people forget, and I understand because they're watching the finished show. Guys, I'm locked away by myself. So I don't know that C burns Rebecca. I don't know any of that. So, and I also know that that's Shuby's girl. So why would I get rid of my best friend's girl? Because now that's going to turn him against me. Like a lot of people have said about the Sean thing, how messed up it was. And it's like, first of all, I think you can see how terrible I felt, which I felt so bad because on one hand, I respected this girl so much for what she did. And I understood immediately why she did what she did. And when I told her I got your back, I truly meant it because the entire game, with the exception at that point, one time, I wasn't ever in a position of sending anyone home. So I really did have her back. But then the catch-22 of that was I said to her, and I forget, I don't know if it's in the episode or not, had you not revealed your real self, had you have still gone by those pictures that you came in here with, I still would have come to that exact same decision based off of where my mind was at, how I was feeling, because yes, we had a great conversation, but in my mind, you did the most courageous, beautiful thing. So everyone is going to reach out to you and want to have an alliance with you for that. And if we're talking kindergarten mentality, at the end of the day, you're a girl, I'm a guy. So you probably have a girl's back more than you're going to have my back. Where someone like Ed, who's such a bro and comes from a similar background, I'm thinking he'll probably have my back before you would. So when I'm weighing everything out, it's like, that is the only decision that makes sense in my mind. And I had to do it. And it was the worst night I had there. They didn't show after I left. I went back to my apartment. I sat on the couch, tears in my eyes, my hands in my face, just being like, I'm done, because I knew it doesn't matter what I say to this, how much I commend her for her strength of doing what she did, that I truly look up to and admire and respect. She's going to think that it's because of what she did today. And I know that's just normal, but that's the furthest thing from the truth. I loved and respected her for all of those things. And it was the hardest decision I had to make the entire game by far.
And that's actually very interesting because Eric and I were two of the people, like while watching it, from an outsider's point of view, we were like, oh my God, take out a big threat, like someone like Rebecca, and just keep Sean there. You connected with her, that's fine. But, hindsight 2020, looking at it from your perspective, you're in it. You've made bonds with these people. You're all like, the veterans, the OGs. Why get rid of someone who is an OG with you and also piss off Shuby? Like if the fans put themselves in your shoes, they start to see more of the social dynamic. And it was a very, very smart move.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think understandably so, a lot of people just don't take that into account. But like I said, I really think that's what won me the game, because if you look at everybody else's reactions, that tells me they would have played it the most obvious way. Mm-hmm. They would have gone with take out a power player, which is so obvious and does nothing but screw you over in the long run, or I could be quiet and not say I did this and nobody knows and like really be sneaky. But as soon as I came to that decision that I was letting Sean go, the first thing I said out loud to myself was, I am waking up tomorrow and I'm letting every single person that's here know I did this. This was me. And I stand by this because, again, I don't know when the game's ending. So if I leave at any point in time, I'm sticking with who I've been as a person, which is anything I would say behind your back, I would say to your face. And I'm going to let you know I made this decision. And if you guys decide to get rid of me for this, I got no regrets, man. I did everything I could do to be as honest and real as I could. So I think everyone would have played that the exact opposite. And I really do think that's what pushed me ahead in the game.
I would agree with that. Very, very smart.
First of all, I do. I can't say I disagree. I think the best thing for you, Joey, is nobody really can disagree with you. You won. So whatever you did is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and super influencer you right now. Congratulations. You got the check mark. I think the thing
crap. Does that mean he blocks one of us?
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Then the show might stop. I think that the part that people were confused about, not about you guys all sticking together, because I do agree. It made complete sense to Nicole and I. Of course, the OGs are gonna stick together in this game. And yes, you don't know what's going on around you, but you could see those results, and you could see like, oh, Chris is ranking higher than me, or Shuby, and you had that deliberation moment where you were like, I'm gonna put Shuby in fourth, and then you kind of went back and moved him up. So you just always wanted to play like a loyal game right from the start. There was no part of you that was like, let me move this person down so that I can move myself higher, hopefully, is what I think you're saying now.
Yeah, I think to me that is the sort of lightning in the bottle with the show that I think is going to be very difficult to capture if they do any more seasons, because every single one of us really came in there and really were honest with our ratings. And that's what I'm thankful for, because in my life, I come from such a huge Italian family where loyalty is everything. And I've showed that to everybody in my life. And most of the times in my life have been let down by people betraying me because they don't have those same values. The beautiful thing with this experience was every single person really shared that. And nobody got crazy with their ratings of getting tactical, of throwing wrenches in the fan, so to speak, of this person's, I love them, they're great, but they're a threat because of how great they are, so I'm tanking them in the bottom. Every person really ranked honest, which that was as big a shock to me as it was to maybe people watching. And I think if there's more seasons of the show, I think the surprises and the shocks are going to now come from people really being tactical with ranking people every different way because they don't want someone to win. And I think you're going to have an unexpected winner or unexpected people rising to the top because the ratings are just going to be so all over the map.
I see from, we have so many questions from Twitter.
Cool.
I don't, and
I'm
from
here.
chat. I don't even, okay, good. First I want to see, Joanna in the chat wants to know, are you able to say what bar you work at?
Yes, I work at Oil Can Harry's on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City.
Okay. We have a question from Twitter. It is from Rachel in LA, who says, who are you the closest to now that you are out of the game?
I don't mean it in that cliche term, but we really all are so close. Like that normally sounds like such a stock answer, but it's really not, because after the show ended, we were not allowed to follow each other on social media or even act like we knew each other existed.
Wow.
So after everything with the show wrapped, we all made an Instagram group and kept in touch that way, because we weren't allowed to speak publicly or say we even knew each other existed in the world.
Yeah.
So literally daily as we speak right now, I feel bad because I've been so busy with everything after the show with now doing press and stuff. I'm so far behind in the group chat with everything, but we talk every day about every single thing going on with the show, checking in with each other. But I would say, I'm definitely very close with Shuby, Seaburn, Sammy. I love Sammy to death. Chris, Miranda. I mean, all of us really stay in touch, and we're all getting together early next month to go to Miami where Sammy lives, and we're all getting together to just sort of hang out, do our thing, post online, talk to fans, talk to people. And I think that's something for us that's going to be enjoyable, and for fans to see that, yeah, man, we went and played this crazy game and we talked shit. We did all this stuff, but we're all still the best of friends after. None of us left this experience with like, whatever you said about me, we're done. Like, no, it was the exact opposite. It was, look, I talk shit about you. I talk shit about you. I talk shit about you. But we all knew what we were doing, and we had fun, and we didn't know each other at the time, so we can laugh about it, and we're all the best of friends now. It's really like, dude, this experience is never going to be duplicated. I don't care how many gigs I would ever do or how many seasons of the show they do. This was 1 in a million, truly 1 in a million.
Wow.
Did you have a question, Nicole, or do you want me to
No,
keep going?
I was just gonna say, like, I think that's so tremendous, and I'm thinking, like, paralleling it to Big Brother, you just become such a family because you're going through this odd experience that very few people, especially the Circle, this is season 1, very few people have gone through, and you're just so inevitably and forever connected. I love to hear that you guys are so close. Like that, I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. It's what makes this whole experience special for me. It really does.
I don't. I want you all to play again and cut each other's throats and play vicious and mess with the
Just
numbers.
Get nasty.
No, I see a lot of people in chat. Becca, Ryan from Big Brother Canada, who does shows here on TV Co, is in chat too. A lot of people are saying you should be on the challenge on MTV. And I'm just going to say, is there any shows now, I know you said you didn't before this show, but is there any shows that you would want to do, like as far as a reality competition, or would you focus more on acting? And tons of people are asking that.
No, I could say without a doubt, there is no show I would do. Absolutely, absolutely no other show I will ever do or ever entertain. The only thing that I've had a few people say to me that makes sense that I would do, but I just don't think it would happen, is I've had a lot of people say you should host season 2 of The Circle if they do a season 2. And to me, like that, like I've had a few people reach out to me for doing some there's a event coming up in LA in a couple months. That's a big event, and they're like, we would love to have you as a co-host or do some presenting. And it's like, you know what? That doesn't hurt me or hurt my career. Like that makes sense. I would totally do that. And if they ever said to me, we're doing season 2 of The Circle, do you want to have some involvement of co-hosting or hosting? Which I don't think they would ever say that to me. But if they did, I would say 100%, because I'm very comfortable with public speaking. It's something I've never struggled with. And I'm very comfortable in front of a camera and being on a set. But other shows like The Challenge or Big Brother, or people said The Bachelor, not a shot, guys. Not a shot. I don't care what they offered me. I wouldn't do it.
We now have a question from Michelle, the host, who wants to know, Joey, why are you coming for my job?
Sorry, Michelle, I'm not coming for it. They're just saying what I would do.
No, she did not. She did not. She did not send that question.
Michelle, I love you.
Hung. I don't know why that is so hard for me to say.
Angie. That's Angie.
Oh, it's Angie. Hi, Angie.
Yeah, I love her.
Angie wants to know, hi, Joey. What was your biggest learning or aha moment from the show?
I think it goes back to what I said before about people's character. Because I live in LA, where people are so people are just so cold and standoffish, where I'm not that type of person. The fact that so many people are good and do have good moral compasses and are loyal, and the fans of the show too have reached out saying these things to me. I just always say it takes one to know one. It really does. So to me, that's the thing I take from it more, because everyone's always talking about, now you won this show, the money, this and that. Guys, I have struggled for so many years, my entire adult life, chasing a dream, to where I've been the brunt of so many jokes. Nobody supports me besides my entire family who has had my back. So the money in winning the show is, to me, nothing more than validation for my entire family, who have believed in me and supported me since I was a little boy with a dream that never changed. But I would say that's the thing I take from it, because money comes and goes. It doesn't last forever. And if I were to take that as the experience, that it would make all of this worth nothing. I take the experiences from the friendships I'll have for the
Absolutely.
rest of my life, and that's what means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting this question a ton as well. Again, only if you can answer it. I'm going to take it from Togan. He wants to know, are you aware if your rooms really were next to each other? Because the way that it was shot to us, it always looked like your rooms are right on top of each other, and we could not understand how you guys were not hearing each other.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, it's a question I'm not allowed to answer.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Togan.
Okay. Let me take this question over from, I'm going to take it from chat. What are your plans for your winnings? Rachel wants to know. You actually got that from a lot of people. So what are you going to be doing with your winnings?
So it's going to be divided, essentially. For the first time in my life, I do now have a cushion of being okay. So I reached out to my cousin, who is very successful and has done well for himself, and said, I have no knowledge of how to set myself up for my future because I've lived day to day my entire life. So he set me up with his financial advisor to essentially put away some money and continually, whether I'm bartending, whether I'm acting throughout the years, let that money grow. So I do have a cushion somewhere down the road in life. And the rest of that is going into my career. And that's how it needs to be, because in this business, you have to invest in yourself. I've invested in myself for years, and I would do it all over again. And now there's things I need to capitalize on. I have my film that's in post-production that I'm finishing as we speak. And, maybe that can end up on Netflix. Maybe it can end up somewhere else. I mean, there's just so many windows that are open because of the show and people that are reaching out to me. And at the end of the day, there's that old cliche term of you got to put your money where your mouth is. And I've always done that. And I'm going to do that now because I truly have nothing to lose. And I'm going in 100% and believing in myself, saying, just give me an opportunity and I will show what I'm able to do. Cast me as a joke. Please cast me as a joke as the kid who thinks he's an actor who's from a reality show because he has a following on social media. Give me a character on a piece of paper and watch what I'm able to do with it. That's been the story of my life, and I will continue to prove myself regardless of any obstacles in front of me.
And that's amazing, Joey. Are we allowed to ask the name of the film?
Yeah, it's called Young Lion of the West, which is the name of what Rochester, New York used to be back in the day. And this is one of so many films that I have in the drawer ready to go. But I started this when I was 18 years old with my partner, Josh, because I knew nobody was ever going to give us an opportunity. And I'm also that rare actor where you would think actors and people in the business love film, and most don't. I wanted to be a director before I ever wanted to be an actor. Wow. And I was studying screenwriting before anything. So film is the first love. Acting is second. Film is bigger than any individual actor or any individual thing. And I knew that this role was, number one, playing into my type, which is what everyone thought of me the first couple episodes on the show, which is how you have to establish yourself in the industry of knowing what your type is, being able to play that, and then branching off from there. So it took us 7.5 years to get this done.
Wow.
And finally, we just put our life on the line. I got the financing together of every dollar we could, and it was valued at $5 to $10 million for a budget. We made it for $13,000 cash, which a lot of people would think this is a piece of garbage. And from every industry close contact I've shown anything to, it's how in the world did you pull this off? Because it's so ambitious. It looks like a real film that had a budget behind it, man. And I'm so excited to see where it's going to find a home.
Okay.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Joey, I have 3 things to say about this.
Yes.
Number 1, I'm highly offended that you didn't want to use any of the money for our first date.
I'm sorry.
Number 2, we need to have like a screening here. We should do like a TV screen, like when your movie comes out. Well, obviously movies first, but then we could like come back here and you could talk and give us like behind the scenes directors kind of all of your insight to it. I think we should do that in the future after it's made millions, Joey.
Oh, buddy,
Yeah, baby.
I would love to, because when I talk film, that really is my life, and I'm always honest. Some people have said it looks like you're shooting yourself in the foot, but I'm not, because I want people to know what type of film they're getting in for. This is a very hard R. It's a very hard R-rated film. That was the problem with getting financing together from real industry contacts for so long, was you can't have these you can't have these misogynistic tones. And it's like, guys, my job as an artist is to present a story of characters based off of truth that I've seen in my life for these elements. And I don't like when you make a film that's spoon feeding an audience with the watered down version of that. It's to me, it's not telling them the truth. And we live in a world where these things happen, and my job is to present that. So when I've shown the film to, let's say, some of my LGBTQ friends, and they're saying, this is really intense. You need to be socially conscious of the world we live in. I think you should take these things out. And it's like, no, I disagree. That's why you leave it in there, because I really don't care if you love or hate the movie for the things that happen. That's not my job. It's if you have a reaction to this negatively or positively, then I've done something to affect you. As long as you're not leaving the movie going, this looks like a $10 piece of garbage, which I promise it doesn't. I've done my job. And the artists that I'm inspired by, the Martin Scorsese's, the Eminems, all of these people that I go into with the way they write and they tell the truth. Yes, it's controversial, but it's never controversial for controversy's sake. It's always telling the truth. And I'm really excited to see how people are going to react, man, because at the end of the day, you can only tell a story from your perspective, because you're the only version of yourself. And in my life, I have seen so much racism, so much hatred, especially where I come from in Rochester, the heroin epidemic that has taken so many of my friends' lives and taken over this country. That's the world I've seen. And people talk differently than us talking right here, being cordial professional adults.
Yep.
My job is to show that, and however you feel towards that is how you're going to feel. But I think a lot of people, if for nothing else, will be taken aback by my actual ability of performing. I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
Well, we're excited. Now, I want to see this movie. When Nicole and I are like, yes, keep going. I want popcorn. But look, I have another controversial thing that I'm going to need you to weigh in on.
Yes.
This is a very important question from Twitter.
Yeah.
It is coming from Craydon Norton, who wants to know, being a guy from New York, how's the pizza over there in LA?
Oh God, it's so bad, man. Yeah. Honestly, I don't eat any pizza out here. When I go home, like, I'm in the worst shape of my life right now because I've just been so busy these last couple of months. I have not been able to work out or do my meal prep. But when I usually go home, I'm always in better shape than I was the last time everyone's seen me. And they're like, "Wow, you look so good. You look great." And I'm like, "Dude, that's because we don't have food like we do back home. Like, the food here sucks, so it's easy to diet and stay in shape."
This is a great question from Stephisham in chat wants to know, do you think that anyone got a bad edit or that they are actually different than they were portrayed on the show in real life?
There's a few things I could say to that. Like, I know Alana got a lot of crap from people after the show came out, and I can say Alana is such a sweetheart in every sense of the word. And, you know, it just is what it is when it comes to that. But I know people have said a lot about her. People have said a lot about Miranda being nothing but flirty with everyone. And again, guys, like, there's conversations and things that just don't make the episodes. One thing I actually would like to clarify in terms of myself is I don't pay attention to trolls. I'm new to Twitter because I'm not a Twitter fan. I just think it's just a place of negativity a lot. But I have seen so many people saying that I'm racist because I didn't like Antonio, or because they didn't see me talk with Mercedes and Rebecca. And at first, I would say this, number one, thank you for bringing this to my attention that you felt this way. I would like to clarify, I have nothing against anybody. I'll post a picture of me and my friends in the gym when I'm 6 years old. You see, I'm the only white kid. All my friends are of color, and going, I've never held anything against anybody. But it doesn't matter at that point what you say. And it becomes a race thing. And I'm going, guys, when you're saying why I didn't like Antonio, let me clarify. I went in day one thinking everyone's a catfish, and his bio and his profile saying they call me Chef Antonio. It was that simple to go, I don't think this kid's real. It had nothing to do with anything racial. And when people are going, you had no interactions or you didn't flirt with Mercedes or Rebecca, me and Mercedes, aka Karen, definitely flirted in a lot of the group games we were playing, but it just didn't make the episode. So those are the things that I just think are really important to clarify, because I always say, man, if you don't like me, that is totally your prerogative. That is fine. I have no problem with that. But if you're judging my character on discriminating against anybody that's different than me, I take that extremely serious, because all of my friends are literally every exact opposite of me in real life. And I'm very protective of that, because I've seen the hatred that these people have gone through for the way of being who they are, whether it's of color or sexual orientation. And I really want to clarify that, guys, because you can hate me, you can say all these things about me, but that is something I would never do and I've never done in my life. So please just take it from me talking honestly right now. That is the furthest thing from the truth.
I think that's very clear. I mean, like I said right at the start of this show, it was very obvious to us watching, and I think why people like you is because you are very endearing and open and accepting. I mean, you couldn't even hide that through the, buddies, like Jersey Shore thing. So, look, you're correct. There's always going to be trolls and people on Twitter that are, because that's how they're used to getting attention. Just know that there is also an amazing part of Twitter, too, that is super supportive. You just got to focus on those people and mute the others. Kind of like how I muted Miranda after I watched you make out with her. Speaking of, RHO and R in chat wants to know, have you gone out on your date with Miranda yet?
So to clarify with that, me and Miranda have spent time together. But everyone wants to know if we're actually together. And I usually hate when people try to be coy about things. And I'm not trying to be coy. It's just now I'm looking at things differently. What I can tell you is Miranda and I are 100% in each other's lives and speak all the time. And I am so blessed for this opportunity of this show for us to be in each other's lives, because we wouldn't be any other way. But as far as confirming or denying any relationship that's an official relationship, I don't want to do that, just because it gives people an expectation. And with that, life has many things that happen. People break up or they're better off as friends.
Okay.
I get it 100%, because it's so weird when you come out of an environment like that, how many people are just on you and want to know what's happening, when it's happening, why it's happening. And like you said, you don't know what path things are going to take, what journey they're going to take, and you don't want to set a precedent that people are then
then it becomes you're following me and keeping up with me because that's a part of it. And then should something change with that, there's a reaction that could be negative or positive. And it's just like, at this point, guys, I appreciate every person reaching out to me. And I understand why people want to know. I would want to know too. It makes sense. But just, you can get any answer you want out of me to all the fans watching. But when it comes to my personal life and a personal relationship, I just want to neither confirm nor deny. It is what it is.
This is why we love Joey. And this is what I will say also. Miranda will be here tomorrow night, everyone, at 6 p.m. Eastern. So
Yay, Miranda!
we'll see if she's going to answer it the same way. But no, I think that's why people love you so much. It is clear that you are a genuine person. I see a lot of people also asking, I'm going to take it from Courtney. You said you wouldn't do any other shows. Would you do The Circle again?
Again,
All
only
stars.
if it was no, not even if it was that, to tell you the truth. The only thing I've seen that made sense to me, like I said, is if someone said, would you come back in a capacity of like co-hosting or doing something like that? And to clarify again, that's not something that's in the cards. That's not something anyone has talked to me about. It's just something that a few people have said to me that I never thought of before, to where I had an immediate reaction of, yeah, that's something, if that ever did happen for whatever reason, I would be open for that. And I think that would be a lot of fun, and it makes sense of why that would be a good move to make. But in terms of even like coming back for season 2 is playing a catfish or All Stars or something like that. Sorry guys.
Mm-hmm.
Once I keep doing stuff like that, if I do another gig that's like this in any which way, that's what my career is for the rest of the time, and I won't be able to break out of that box. So it's no shot.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, there are definitely some people, like James Vaughn, for one, from Amazing Race, has gone on. He is now an ET correspondent. Oh my God, Nicole, who do I love? Cody.
A lot of people.
No, Cody from Big Brother is now doing movies in Hollywood. So yes, I do agree. I know what you're saying, obviously. Sometimes it can pigeonhole you, but I have a feeling, Joey, you would not let that happen. So I would hate to see you turn down opportunities. But speaking of movies, Maximus' mom wants to know, De Niro or Pacino movies, you can only choose one.
De Niro.
Okay, that was easy for you.
Same. I agree.
All right, so we need to kind of wrap this show up. We've already gone so over. Of course,
am I allowed to ask a question first?
Well, do you want some more? I mean, you have a ton. I just feel bad. Do you want a few more?
Buddy, I'm here with you guys. Whatever you guys want.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, so my question is, I know you said, like, with the final 5, you'd be happy with any of them winning because you're so close and you respected them and whatnot. Is there anybody that left early, whether it be a catfish or not, that you, whether in the game or outside the game, are like, wow, I wish I would have seen that person play longer?
I would say Karen, but to that credit, I think she was great. I think she would have went farther and could have been a real, like, much more of a threat had she had just been herself. Because
I think we agree with that as well.
Yeah, I think one of the most vulnerable moments of the show to me that has always stuck with me is when her and Antonio first met, and she said, "Would you talk to me if you knew I looked like this?" And that really is such an honest, vulnerable moment, and it's heartbreaking in so many ways. And I think the answer to that is and should have been yes. You're beautiful. You're amazing, just the way you are. And I just think had she had stayed in the game longer, even as Mercedes, maybe that would have shined through more, because I understand what she said post-show about I was being myself just through a different face.
Different image. Yep.
But whatever that is, there was a gap there that just didn't connect for me and I think other people. So maybe had she had stayed longer, it would have been like a Rebecca situation where maybe it doesn't add up or make sense, but you just are there for that person no matter what, even if they're not who they are, because you see something coming through that you're responding to. And I just think she didn't get that far.
Agreed.
JP from New Jersey, who now, Joey, you might know, Nicole and I watched the drops live with everybody here in TV Co. Now, JP from New Jersey would come into chat and he would make Nicole and I speak in British accents because he would tell his boss that he was on the phone with the English office, and that's how we helped him watch. JP has an important question and wants to know, since we all binged The Circle and watched you, Joey, what was the last thing you binged watched on Netflix?
Oh, I keep trying to get through Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez, and it's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And I've been so busy with meetings and doing press and trying to really capitalize on this moment that by the time I get to it every night, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Wow.
I get like 30 minutes into each new episode and then eventually just pass out. But that's what I'm still trying to get through. And it's only 3 episodes, I think, but I just can't get through it.
Yeah. I see Lake Plan Effects want you to know you did our area of New York proud. I think
Yes, I agree.
He said that. Well, I think they're not counting us on Long Island, Nicole. I think Lake Fan Effects.
We are still New York. I will fight that.
We do not like that. I see people were asking, how does it feel knowing that celebrities are watching you? We just saw most recently Sia reaching out to Chris to say, hey, I want to help out pay for your mom's medical stuff and that new window.
Yeah. To me, I think I just look at it a little bit differently. I think it's absolutely amazing that anybody is reaching out and supporting the show. But I think it's important for fans to know that celebrity or not, like, guys, they're just people. They're just people like you and I. Like, I've lived in LA so long and I've met so many people that are as A-list as they come and people I've been legitimate fans of. And I don't get weirded out. You know what I mean? By like, oh my God, it's this person. It's like, no, yeah, like I'll be at Starbucks and there's Steve Carell. Morning, Steve. Like it's just normal. It's become normal for me in my life. So I think it's cool for people to know that, guys, it's so cool to have people you look up to for their work, for what they actually do, but not for their celebrity, because they're no different, guys, than you or I. They're the most normal people in the world, regardless of what you see on E! News or anything. They're just normal people.
Well, I mean, most of them are normal people, except for the Jonas Brothers. And Top Gun Phantom in chat wants to know, have any of the Jonas Brothers reached out in regard to your question on the show?
No, but I did have a couple weeks ago a crazy Jonas Brother fan. I mean that in the best way, who was tweeting me going, I'm doing everything in my power to get them to reach out to you. I met them before and they're like, had a Jonas Brother fan account. Would you be interested in meeting them? Yeah, why not? I'm sure they're great guys. I'd love to meet them. That would be fun.
That's awesome.
I did not know who the different Jonas Brothers were. Nicole had to let me know.
I did.
Who all of the different Jonas Brothers and what they are. I see a lot of people also asking, what is your relationship like with Shuby now outside of the show? Obviously, you guys were so close during the game. I think we're all assuming that has spilled over into real life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, me and Shuby are incredibly close. He used to live in LA, and right now he's living back in San Francisco where his family is, just because he said he wanted to get away for a little bit and he can work either from there or from here. And he just said that, right now that's where he wants to be. But like the way I equate it with Shuby is like, he is that best friend that you don't need to speak every single day. You don't need to see each other every day. Whenever we talk, whenever we see each other, we pick up where we left off. But we definitely do stay in contact all the time. I think at this point, he's got to block my number because I'll have family members and friends FaceTime me. And the first thing they say is, oh, my God, we love Shuby. We want to talk to Shuby. And I'll go, hold on. And I'll do a 3-way FaceTime call and add him on. And people are just like, Shuby! Oh, my God, it's Shuby!
I
That's
love it.
awesome.
How can we not love Shuby? All right, I want to take this last question over from Twitter from Mind of Unisa, who wants to know, how did the Lady Gaga photo happen?
Yeah, so that's a really fun story. Last year, Mark Ronson, who produced her song Shallow, is a fan of my bar.
Mhm.
And the reason a lot of people are a fan of my bar is because you can always go over to West Hollywood, where it's very Hollywood and bougie and, that type of crowd. My bar is very normal. People dress normal. You can come in if you're a star, if you're anyone, and people just will do dancing with you and have fun and just don't, sort of kiss your ass, sort of like they will in those other parts of town. So Mark Ronson had his after Grammy party at the bar, and we had so much preparation leading up to how big of an event this was. And it was presidential levels of security.
Wow.
And we just knew that there's going to be anyone and everyone here not knowing. I mean, certain people you knew, other people you didn't. And my boss had told us, by no means are you allowed to leave the bar to go anywhere else. No pictures, especially this and that. And all of a sudden, I'm serving Adele.
And did you go up to her and say, hello?
So, well, what happened is I'm serving.
Well done.
Yeah, like I'm serving Adele, and she was absolutely amazing. I had the conversation with her where I said, "Honey, I've been out here struggling so many years. I really need to ask you, as someone who's in this business, what is it like to really do what you love? Like truly do what you love, get paid for it, take care of your family." And she said, "It's fucking amazing. Don't let anyone ever tell you anything otherwise." And she was great. And I didn't even geek out over Gaga and Adele. I geeked out because, as I said, I'm the biggest Eminem fan ever. And my good friend Mark, he works with Eminem and Dre all the time. And I seen M's manager, Paul Rosenberg, there. And I go, "Oh my God, it's Paul Rosenberg. It's Paul Rosenberg." I'm like, it's Paul Rosenberg. Oh my God. And my boy Nick's like, yo, relax, lock it up. So that's what I got excited about. But I seen Gaga, and I had been serving her and talking to her. And I walked up to her knowing she's an Italian girl from New Jersey. And I'm just like, "Stephanie," I whisper in her ear. I'm like, "Do I really got to call you Gaga, or can I call you Stephanie?" And she's calling me Sassy Sasso. And she takes me by the chin like this. And she's like, "All these MFers got to call me Gaga. You can call me Stephanie." And I'm like, "Honey, don't be getting me turned on like this at work. I'm about to quit the job. You can't be flirting with me like this. What are you doing?" So I just ended up breaking her balls a little bit, and she, is from the same place as we are. So she got it.
Right.
And she ended up just being like, "I love Joey. I want him to be with us the rest of the night," to my boss. So I was just hanging out with them and just shooting the shit. And I told her at the end of the night, I said, "Look, I know you're engaged, and I respect that. But if anything should ever change, I got the best date in the world I could take you on.
But I'm going to be taking Eric on it, so oh well."
I told her I got the best date in the world I could ever take you on, where no one would ever take you. And she goes, "Oh yeah, Joey, where are you going to take me?" I said, "The McDonald's on Riverside Drive is fantastic, and we'd have a great time." But the photo itself went from, at that point when we were hanging out, I said, "Yo, we got to get a selfie real quick." And she's like, yeah, we do." And then Adele's standing right there, and she's like, "What, you don't want me in it?" I said, "No, honey, come on, get in it." So that's how that photo came to be. So for everyone wondering, no, I'm not best friends with Gaga or Adele. We hung out for a night. It was a legendary night, and I got the photo evidence to prove it, and it was great.
Awesome.
Joey,
awesome.
I absolutely love that story. My only problem with it is you said people from New Jersey are like us, and no, they're not. Gross.
Bro, some people are. Come on.
Come on, you gotta love everybody, Eric. Even New Jersey.
No, I don't love New Jersey. Nope.
Yes.
Not happening.
I just tend to meet good people everywhere I go. I don't know. I guess if people are bad, I just don't gravitate towards them. So I'm that guy like my cousins. My cousins are all tweeting going, "No, this is really who he is. He thinks everybody's a good person." And we try to steer him in the other direction, because I'm literally always like, Come on, man. He's a great guy, though. Like, remember that time he did that thing? Like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And they're like, dude, not everyone's good. Like, not
That's good
everyone's
though. That's
good.
a good outlook. Eric has a very negative outlook. He just
Uh,
gravitates for negative people. That's his
It
problem.
is my joke. I don't really hate New Jersey, everyone.
It's okay. As soon as me and Eric start dating, he's gonna have to switch that mindset because I'm wearing the pants in this relationship, baby. That's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Joey,
Good. Wear those pants.
I have a confession.
Oh God.
Oh no. Don't tell him.
I've been
What?
married. I've been married for 15 years, Joey.
Oh my God. While I respect it in the notion of marriage, it doesn't take away that I feel like Jack in Titanic when he thinks Rose is going with Cal and I'm sitting there about to cry and the sun's going down. All right, I accept it, but it's very cinematically heartbreaking for me.
I love it,
so
and I expect it to be reflected in your next movie. Joey, you have a ton of people that have come out to this chat to see you here. I kind of want to give you full screen to say whatever it is you want to say to all of your fans that are watching you live right now. So, Joey, the floor is yours.
Guys, honestly, I just want to say to each and every one of you, thank you so much for not only supporting me, but supporting this show, supporting whoever your favorite person in the cast is, for everyone reaching out to me, DMing me. I physically cannot get back to each and every one of you at this moment. It's very difficult. I'm trying my best to do that. Please watch my Instagram because what I've been doing when I have windows of time is I go on Instagram Live and I'm adding fans at random onto live to just have a couple minute conversation with me before going on to the next person, which is the easiest way for me to try to answer all your questions and talk to you. Please, you can still DM me. And if I see it, if it hits me at the right time, I'm going to get back to you. But first and foremost, guys, thank you. I love each and every one of you. You guys have been absolutely amazing. And you people are what made this experience worth it, because without it, this show doesn't have an audience. None of us have anybody following us and caring about what we have to say. So from the bottom of my heart, man, I love you. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much.
And now where can people follow you, Joey? So where should people follow you on Twitter?
So on Twitter, which again, I'm still new to it, so bear with me, people. It's at Joey_Sasso, SASSO. And on Instagram, it's at Joey Sasso in one. No spaces, no underscore.
Well, Joey, on behalf of Nicole and myself, we thank you so much for coming and taking time to speak to your fans tonight, answering their questions. We loved having you.
Guys, anytime you want me to come back on, I'll come whenever you guys would like. Let's get it going. You guys are great. I love watching the show. And for everyone watching right now that's a Circle fan or a Joey fan, please, guys, subscribe to them. They know what they're doing. There's a reason this conversation has been so effortless and it's just been so smooth, because they know what they're doing. They're professionals, but they're also fans just like each and every one of you and me included. Follow them, keep up with them, because I'm telling you, I came on this because I was watching them before I ever even knew I was coming on the show.
I know. I mean,
that's amazing.
Nicole doesn't need the followers. Shirley has like 200,000. You guys can follow me and TV Co and Joey. Follow us.
You guys are fantastic, man.
Seriously, Joey, like from one reality person to another, never change. And I know you never will, because you're not the type of person that would. You're absolutely phenomenal. Keep doing you. I wish you the utmost, like, best of luck with like everything you're doing with your film career. Oh, you're amazing.
I love you guys. You guys are both amazing. And like I said, anytime you guys would want me to come back on or do anything, you let me know and I'll be here for you guys. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you so much, Joey. Thank you guys for tuning in here on TV Co. Don't forget to click around, check all the other content here on TV Co. And we will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Yes, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, that about wraps up our show. Again, I hope that you guys loved it. Don't forget, if you want to see these shows live, make sure you are following myself and Nicole over on TV Go. That's where these shows will be live. And then, of course, they will be here and on iTunes, our website, after yourrealityrecaps.com. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell, thumbs up, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. iTunes 5-star rating and a nice review. those are great free ways to help support our shows, as is just sharing, liking, telling your friends about our stuff on social media. We rely on you guys to make these shows successful and keep them going, so thank you for those of you that do that. Of course, you could also become a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron for access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, and weekly shows just for patrons, or you could always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. That being said, we hope you guys enjoyed this show. Click around our website if that's where you're watching this, see all of our shows, and we will see you guys back here tomorrow night for Miranda. And if you're watching this in the way future, check out our Circle playlist for all of these post-season interviews. We'll see you guys later. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.